Kakadosh Boker Tov. We're just continuing with the halachot of Pesach, or Erev Pesach. It says in Siman Taf Ayin Aleph, Asul lechol pat misha asirit ulmala kadesh yuchal matzah leteavon. So the 10th hour and onwards on Erev Pesach, you're not allowed to eat pat. What is it referred to pat? Here it says, the Mishabra, afilu matzah shira. Even we're talking about matzah shira. Why are we talking about matzah shira? Because you're not supposed to eat even whether it's going to be egg matzah or any other things like that on Erev Pesach. Why? Because if you're going to come and you're going to be eating on Erev Pesach, you're not going to be hungry for the night of Pesach, and it's a mitzvah to eat leteavon with appetite, and therefore you're not supposed to eat it. But he's allowed to eat me'at perot or yirakot, a little bit of fruits or vegetables, but you're not supposed to fill your stomach with them. Now, the Maran then brings down to do with wine. He says wine you shouldn't drink a little bit, because if you're going to drink a little bit, it's misad sayed, which means that it's going to satiate. However, though, if you're going to drink a lot of wine, so then what happens is it opens up the appetite. So here he wants to say that if it's going to be less than a cup or rov kos, it doesn't satiate. However, though, if it's going to be a lot of cups, which means 2 cups of revit or more, so then it's considered a lot of wine, and a lot of wine comes and it opens up the stomach. It opens up your appetite. Now, to do with this concept of matzah, right, the Rama brings down a very important halakha on Siv Bet. Maran says, "V'kodem sha'as sirit mutar le'echol matzah shira." So that before the 10th hour, you are allowed to have egg matzah or any other type of matzah shira. Remember, when it just says that matzah shira means that you're not going to be Yitzei Chuvah on the night of Pesach. That's called matzah shira. It could be egg matzah, it could be chocolate covered matzahs, it could be all these other types of matzot. And now all of a sudden he comes and he says, "Aval matzah sheyotzim ba balayla," says the Rama, matzah that you're going to be Yitzei Chuvah on the nighttime of Pesach, asurim le'echol kol yom arba'asar. You're not allowed to eat the entire day. So this entire Tuesday coming up, Wednesday coming up, you're not allowed to come and eat any type of matzah. Wednesday is Erev Pesach. Yeah, Wednesday. Right, this coming Wednesday, you're not allowed to come and eat any type of matzah which you're going to have for Wednesday night. Now, even though that is the halacha that the Rama brings down, the minhag is that we do not taste from the matzot until we're going to come and we're going to make the bracha the first time on the night of the seder. So for example, let's say people go matzah baking, and now they have matzot, and they want to taste from the matzot. It's actually very, very good if it's going to be hot, right? That's the best when it's going to be hot. Matzot coming fresh out of the oven. Our minhag is not to taste it whatsoever until the night of the seder. Now, why exactly? So the Rosh, which this Ramah is where he's quoting this, the Rosh comes and he brings the Yerushalmi. The Yerushalmi says somebody that eats matzah on Erev Pesach is kibal arusato bevet chaviv. It's like he's having marital relations with his fiancée in the house of the father-in-law. Okay, he gets lashes. What does that mean? That means that ki'ilu, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu is coming and telling us you're going to come and you're going to have the matzah on the night of Pesach, why are you coming and jumping the gun? You're being trigger happy and you're doing it, eating it Erev Pesach. Don't eat it Erev Pesach. Why? Because you have this concept. So now the question is, what about from beforehand? So it brings down here in the Ateret Avot a lot of different opinions. And they say that whether it's going to be that the Ramah is bringing down this concept, the Magen Avraham says it's mashma on the 13th you're allowed to. However, though, there's a lot of people that say that you're not supposed to from already Rosh Chodesh Nisan. This is going to be whether it's the Shirei Knesset Agdolah, that the minhag was to be machmir on themselves, not to eat from Rosh Chodesh Nisan. It's brought down in the Liyah Rabbah and the Beretev. Rabbi Yitzchak Chazan brings it down in the Agadah of Pesach Kol Echai, also the same thing, that he remembers, right, in the south of Morocco, he says that already from Ta'anit Esther until Motzei Chag Pesach, he says the entire concept was that nobody would be able to come and eat whatsoever from the matzot until Pesach itself. And it's also brought down in Netivot HaMaarav that was a minhag also. So it comes out that even though mitzad halacha, it's permitted to eat from the matzot, and only on Erev Pesach you have an isur to eat from the matzot, and then again, then you have another technical isur, but that's going to be later on during the day, because you have to come in on an empty stomach to Pesach in order to eat the meal and eat the matzot and everything properly. However, though, the minhag already was from the beginning that we do not have the matzot already from the beginning until the night of Pesach. The night of Pesach, that's when you start eating matzot. So therefore a person should have that in mind in these days, that sometimes they don't have a lot of what to eat because they're in the middle of kashering or they're switching over from one to another. But the matzah in itself, matzah that you're going to be in Chovah, that for sure it's no touch until the night of the Seder. And then there's a whole question about matzah shira, that technically speaking, you could have it, especially that there was a minhag in Morocco that people wouldn't eat matzah shira at all. They would only be machmir on matzah shemura. So therefore, for sure, you do have what to rely on, that you're able to do that beforehand.